It's 5:02. Call this meeting to order. This is the agenda of the regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the rgc-tv EDC. Today is Wednesday, January the 11th, 2023, and it is again 5:02 p.m. We're in Commissioners' Chambers, City Hall. So at this time, I'll ask Mayor Vergara for the invocation and Commissioner Escobedo for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Heavenly Father, please lay your hand upon our EDC board and bless us with the wisdom, the courage, and the will to do what is right and just for the betterment of Rio Grande City. In your precious name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honorable Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one created God, one indivisible.
Thank you, gentlemen. At this time, we'll have roll call final quorum. Ms. Solis.
Mr. Ramirez.
Present.
Ms. Perez. Present. Dr. Marwa is absent. Mr. Escobedo.
Present.
Mr. Villarreal.
Present.
Ms. Flores. Present. And Mr. De Leon.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Very good. Thank you so much. Item 3, public forum. Anybody sign up for public forum?
No.
Okay. And we'll skip to item number 4, approval of minutes from the previous meeting. Give you guys a few minutes or a little bit of time to go over those minutes if you need to. If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve item 4. I second.
We have a motion by Mayor Vergara, second by Commissioner Escobedo. Everybody in agreement, signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Thank you. Item 5, financial report, again.
Well, I'll start off by, bringing to your attention news the State Comptroller released earlier this month, stating that the sales tax revenue for the state was really good. Their revenue totaled $3.93 billion in December, and that was 10.5% more than what they had in December of 2021. And on the same, line of increases, we have been notified on the comptroller side that the city, year to date for the end of the year closed at 9.98% above. So that's a really good thing, because I know we have been tracking and monitoring our sales taxes, and I know that hasn't come directly yet to the city, but it should be deposited. Usually they do this on the second Friday. There we go. So that's really good news for us. I think we continue to see that increase in sales tax revenue, which shows that our economy is strong. Jobs and job creation is still important to us, so we'll maintain a focus on these new employers that are coming into town and make sure that they're providing our community with the jobs they need to continue to spend in our community, so these sales tax figures can maintain in that trajectory. So we don't have a sales tax report in your packet, for the reason being that we still haven't seen that deposit into the city yet, but you do have the expenditure report, which outlines our expenditures. We're at 25% of the fiscal year, and that shows you where we're at right now as far as revenues and expenditures. And if you have any particular questions, I'm happy to answer those for you at this time.
Any questions about any projects or anything that's, comments or concerns at this point? I think everything's going really well. I think all the projects that we were, discussed previously, I think pretty much are almost close to completion. With the exception, I believe, we're just starting the signage at the Basilio Park.
Correct. So yes, and that is to be reported in another item further along in the agenda. But when it comes to the Economic Development Fund, we had a payment that we made out to one of our contracts, which is why you see that decrease in $200,000. But outside of that, we're maintaining pretty well in the percentages spent so far. So we're, applying the brakes when we need to and moving forward as we're supposed to. But we're good so far.
Very good. Thank you so much for the report. If there are no other comments or concerns, I'll move on to item number 6 on the agenda. Main Street Advisory Board project updates. Again.
Have Ms. Rubio and some members of the advisory board here with us.
Ms. Rubio?
Good afternoon, everyone. I have with us board members, Ms. Rosa Gonzalez, Myra Gracia, and Denise Alanis here, and I'm going to pass the microphone on to Ms. Gonzalez, who will be giving the update for you.
Very good. Welcome, Ms. Gonzalez.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having us, and happy 2023 to everyone.
Likewise.
I'll jump right into it. The projects and updates, of course, for 2022. The Main Street, of course, was very busy the last 2 months of 2022. And these are some of the projects that were completed and that are ongoing. Phase 1 of renovation is complete. Over as early as December, the final project of Phase 1, Lopez Tejerina, renovation was completed. The brick surrounding the perimeter of the oak tree at the center of the courthouse, or the courtyard, was dug up. The exposed tree roots were trimmed down and the new brick surround was added. There were a lot of security issues out there. So we know that this is a provisional fix only, of course, but chopping the tree down was not an option at this time.
Did y'all recycle that brick or that new brick?
That's new brick.
New brick?
It's new brick.
We'll try to recycle as much of it as Phase 2 starts. Christmas tree on Britain Avenue. In mid-November, the Main Street members and Main Street coordinator began decorating the beautiful tree at the kiosco. The weather at the time was quite chilly and wet, but despite the less than perfect conditions, the decorations got done and in time for all the citywide festivities in the first week of December. So that was quite an experience. It was a lot of fun getting out there and doing this, and we really loved the results. The next item was the Market Days on Main Street. Market Days continue to bring in steady crowds of shoppers looking for one-of-a-kind food items, crafts, and collectibles. There was a market on November 26th, which was Small Business Saturday, and the start of the holiday season. And then another market on December 17th, the week before Christmas. The next market is scheduled for January 21st, 2023. And I believe that approximately 11 to 14 businesses are calling in, and they're really happy with the sales that they're generating during the market days. So Small Business Saturday was November 26th. As I mentioned earlier, this took place November 26th, of course, this last November. This is a national event geared to promoting the can-do spirit of the small business owners. Main Street board members, myself, Iris Guerra, prepared promotional items for the downtown businesses, and we went out to each and every business and gave out those promotional items for the holiday shoppers. The businesses were very, very glad that we were there, showing support, of course, and providing these promotional items for their customers when they came to shop. Next, we have the Christmas-scape at the fire department. Speaking of holidays, we hadn't even finished eating our Thanksgiving leftovers. When the Main Street board and coordinator went off and running this time to light up the fire department to coincide with the lighted Christmas parade. Before the week was out, there were countless trips to the trolley shed to get decorations, lights, and trips to Walmart, McCoy's to purchase more lights and different supplies, and of course some Advil. So we had members from the Parks and Rec, Public Works, and even some of our firefighters stringing lights, moving Christmas trees, helping us figure out why the lights were not turning on. So with the help of Garza's Electric and your support, of course, everything was lit up and ready for the Christmas photo stop. The next item was the lighting of the Christmas tree, which was November 30th. This was a spectacular show of lights, music, dance, food, crafts, fun, giveaways, and so much more. I know most of you were there. I saw many of you out there. It was a very memorable evening. The evening started with a countdown on the lighting and ended with a Christmas sing-along. and of course, a visit from Santa. So thanks to all the departments, schools, organizations that showed up and showed off their holiday spirit. Carols on Main was a very, very joyous event, also on Main Street. This was our 8th annual caroling event. Much to the delight of our downtown businesses, Idea Academy Cheer Squad showed off their holiday spirit by singing and dancing to some very lively Christmas tunes. The group performed first at the City Hall, then took a short trolley ride over to the downtown businesses, where they made their way about right around visiting 12, at least a dozen establishments spreading holiday cheer wherever they stopped. They really, really enjoyed it. They had a great time. All the businesses were so, yes, yes. So it was a very nice event as well. And end of year self-evaluation. The Main Street Advisory Board held a special meeting on January 3rd, 2023, to work on the Main Street America Community Self-Assessment Tool. This tool outlines what it means to be a successful Main Street America program. And it sets the path for growth of any Main Street program. This tool is expected to be fully integrated by Main Street America by the end of 2023. And looking forward, we have market days, of course, scheduled January 21st, and we have the facade grant workshop on January 26th, 2023. So we'll be reaching out to different businesses and, of course, all the board members and so on for this workshop, which is, of course, to disseminate information on the grants to all the businesses, to where we can help for facade grants downtown. Do we have any questions from anyone at this time?
Not a question, just a comment. Well, thank you to the Main Street Board for your service, and cannot stress enough the importance of having these boards because of, well, one, nationally recognized, what is it, 6 years? Is it 6 years in a row or 6 years?
Yes.
And then what you all did during the holiday season was phenomenal too. I mean, the lighting, I mean, it was exceptional, the parade. I know that's part of the chamber, but still Main Street because of everything that comes along and working with other organizations. So thank you so much. It cannot stress enough the importance of having boards that really give back to the community. And I know it's time, effort, and you're volunteering your time. So thank you so much for what you do, and certainly looking forward to next year's lightings, and it was just exceptional. And of course, in partnership with the school district, where they had the lighting there at the 4-2, and of course what we did at the Main Street, or should I say downtown, and of course all the other lighted areas, the grotto, the county, and I mean it was phenomenal. It was we had people coming in visiting Rio Grande City from other parts of the Rio Grande Valley and other places too. They were giving us good word about what small community has done, and the best of it all, it's free of charge.
Yes.
There's no charge to actually go and see the lights, whereas other places might do that, but here we don't. So again, thank you so much for your time, effort, and commitment.
You're very welcome, and it's a pleasure serving on the board, and I can speak for everyone that we have a dynamic board. We have an awesome, wonderful coordinator at this time, so we enjoy working together as a team and, of course, showcasing downtown Rio Grande City. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Gonzalez.
And I would like to add to that, I know that I personally get to see a lot of the work that you all do, and a lot of that time that you invest into the Main Street program, and I'm very thankful. This year in particular, I know that I personally got a lot of comments from a lot of people that were very happy that the city is doing this, because they get to go out, they get to go take pictures and take their kids out, and they enjoy it. So thank you very much to all of you for everything that you do. And I really like working with you all.
We have fun doing it, and thank you for your support.
Ms. Gonzalez, have you all had any maybe comments or recommendations from the local businesses as far as what they would like to see maybe in the future, or maybe any kind of concern, maybe, I don't know?
What we're hearing from the downtown businesses is, of course, grants. any kind of help that they can get for facade or interior, which we have, of course. We do have $25,000 that we have in the budget in the work plan for this year. I believe there's 2 businesses already, maybe one that has already turned in an application, a couple that are interested at this time.
So we'll have that presentation.
Yes, so this presentation is to share information on how to fill out the application and the different requirements and everything that goes along with applying for the grant.
Okay.
But besides that, we're hearing a lot of positive things as far as events and so forth.
Yes.
There really isn't anything else that we're hearing. I know we've heard a couple of businesses stating that they'd like perhaps the paint your business project to come back. A little bit of a touch-up, a little facelift
Sure.
at one of the businesses perhaps.
And that's why I asked.
We haven't really heard any other concerns.
Right, okay, no, that's good to know, but again, I know in the past we've done different things, different projects, so you guys have initiated different projects like the benches, the pods, and
Yes.
plants, and lighting and whatnot, and it's all great, but you know, if we can maybe turn back around and maybe continue to add to the beautification of downtown, you know, maybe add more lighting or add to what we've already done, I think that would be nice.
And what we'd like, President Ramirez, is to be able to aid in renovating some of these businesses.
Sure.
I mean, some of these vacant properties.
Right.
So we're trying to get the stakeholders more involved, and we're trying to reach out to the owners and so on, for them to be able to come, maybe to come to the Main Street meeting, joining committees, and know that without them being proactive, then there's really not much else we can do as far as that goes, because it's all up to the property owners.
Sure.
As far as beautification of and renovation, right, of the buildings.
There's only so much we can do.
But we'd like to go for bigger things. This next work plan, we're getting together before May, putting a wish list together to present to you all, and hopefully some of those will become a reality in 2023, 24.
I think so. We're in a good position, I think, financially, both in the city and EDC, to be able to help out with some of these projects, so I look forward to the recommendations.
Thank you.
If anything, if we can look at some of the sidewalks, I know there's several sidewalks that maybe need some I guess, construction, or at least us looking into a potential plan for future feasibility of addressing some of the sidewalks in the certain areas in the middle of town. So if anything, that might be something to at least bring up and see what we can do there moving forward. Maybe have a 2-year, 3-year plan.
And another thing, perhaps the crossways between Main and 2nd Street. There are several areas that need a lot of work as far as lighting and so forth, and also on sidewalks there. It's really hard for people just to get from one side of the street to the other.
Well,
So-
let's look at all that way as we're considering next year's cycle to see what we can do there. And if we can do a little every year, I mean, in 3 years, we'll pretty much...
Maybe a parking lot here and there for downtown businesses.
That would be nice, yeah, priority.
That's one of the biggest concerns
Parking.
our businesses.
The parking is the number one, I think, concern for all business owners downtown, and visitors as well, because they have nowhere to be able to park and cross safely. So I think maybe a couple of parking lots here and there. We could charge for the parking just like San Antonio and all these other places do. You know,
As long
that
as
would
the
be a little
owners
bit of
don't wanna
revenue.
sell them for crazy amounts just because it's the city money to purchase them, but if there's a way, I agree.
Yes.
We can look at some of those
Yeah, my wife and I were
properties.
just in New Braunfels, and we were antique shopping and whatnot, and we're looking for parking, and we see a lot, and they have a little QR code, and you scan
Exactly.
it, you pay, and you pay to park.
We could do that as well.
But yeah.
So, just some ideas that we had thrown around.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you for the presentation, Ms. Gonzalez. Moving on to item 7, the EDC project updates, Ms. Guillen.
Yes. Mine's not as elaborate with the photos, but it does give you some color in the chart. They're not in any particular order, but we did mentioned this earlier in the meeting, the Basilio Villarreal Municipal Park Project is in progress. That contract was awarded, the notice to proceed was issued. I consider it currently under construction. We've already talked to Parks about perhaps maybe having to limit access to the gate, but if anything, it might be for just a few hours or a day at most. But that's just for car traffic, because the park can still remain open. There's pedestrian entry on the east side of the park. And then the medical center development, that continues to undergo a lot of work. The drainage ditch, I'm understanding, is reportedly completed. I'm waiting on some final information. I need to check with planning and their engineers that they submit everything to show to that effect. And then we have the downtown sidewalk. Speaking of sidewalks in our downtown, that project has been completed. And on the second page, I'll point out Tractor Supply continues to do construction on their facility over here at St. Ives, but more importantly, they're finalizing the infrastructure that goes along with the property, so that's moving along pretty quickly as well. And I don't know if you'll have any questions. There is the underground utilities that we had discussed, and that project is, we've made some calls out to the car wash to find out about the utilities, and they haven't responded yet. They were talking to their contractor. It was something they weren't really interested in doing, but once they saw there were some city interest, they're considering it, but we don't have a formal response back from them on that. But I'm happy to answer any questions. This is just a summary of those projects that are listed in our work plan. Clearly, there's a lot of activity going on that you don't see on here, like the job fair we're working on for February, the State of the City address that we're initiating, and other projects throughout the spring.
I had a question about the item 1, as far as to include Las Brisas, for I guess relocation of what, water line or sewer line there? What is that exactly?
So remember that we went out for bids once on this project and didn't get anything. Right. Then we went out a second time, and it was something that was overpriced, and we were going to go out for bids a third time. And I believe that's date's already been set for January 18th. There's still, I think, an item on the city agenda that needs to occur, a rejection of the bid before we proceed with this. But this new scope will, and it was explained at the last city meeting, is going to encompass some work over to the Las Brisas subdivision.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure, Mr. Castillo, as far as what exactly we're going to do in Las Brisas. I know you mentioned something about relocating some lines from the alleys to the front, or vice versa.
Yes, the way that the water lines are situated over close to the property line and some of the fencing, so it's real hard to get. So they're going to reroute those water lines to the front where they have air access, and they'll leave it ready to connect from the property to that location. But that needs to be done before the pavement in order for us not to go back and if something busts in the back of those properties, it's going to cause a lot of property damage to get it fixed.
Yeah, I was under the impression it was going to be done in-house, so it's going to be bid out also as part of this other project.
That's in our next meeting in the city. That's in the agenda, so
okay.
We'll get that going.
Discuss that further. Okay.
Those were old lines that were inside property, right, private property, so we needed to move them to a...
It's a rural, so
right, back in the day.
Not city yet, so the way it's built, it would have been done different nowadays.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, sir. Very good. Any more questions or comments about projects for EDC? Okay, thank you, Ms. Guillen, for the presentation. Item 8, executive session under Chapter 551, Texas Government Code 551.071 and 551.072, 551.087. It is 5:26, and we'll go to executive session. we're back from executive session. Item 9, reconvene into regular session and consultation with consideration of action matters discussed during executive session, including the following. Item A, no action. Item B, consultation with attorney regarding legal matters and deliberations of economic development negotiations and information received from Business Prospect 2021-3.
I move that we approve as discussed in executive.
Second.
The motion got a second. Everybody in agreement, signify by raising your right hand. Against, left hand. Motion passes. Very good. Item C, no action. Item D, no action. And item E, no action. All right.
Move to adjourn.
Got a motion, got a second. Everybody in agreement, signify by raising your right hand. This meeting is adjourned at 6:06 p.m. Thank you all so much.
Enjoy. I'll see you.